What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode, another edition of the Mindin Your Biz Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Black Wealth, and we got...
Hey, guys. It's your girl, Miss Fab Financial, checking in. What'd you say? I didn't even hear what you said.
I said host.
The host?
I bet, y'all. So,
I understood what you meant.
Right.
Yeah.
We are the number one network for all things business for the culture. Definitely make sure you stay tuned with us. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell. Tap in with your boy and your girl, right?
That's
so
right.
Listen, man, we're going to be talking about the ex-Google CEO, Eric Schmidt. He took Google from 100 million to 180 billion,
okay,
right? What lessons we can take from him as we break down 5 key things for any business success. I think it was really good.
That's really good.
Right, 100 million. To 180 billion.
I keep thinking 60, 180
billion CEO. So first take on this is
that's crazy work.
First lesson on this is focus on the long-term vision and scale, right? So Eric Schmidt emphasizes thinking for long-term, focusing on ideas that have a benefit of scaling. So Google Vision was the hub for organizing like the world information that was built. That was their like claim to fame. Google want to organize the world's information in our Google platform. He said successful companies think about what the world will look like in 5 years and build toward that vision today.
Yeah.
When you think about that, like, what do you think come to mind? Like, first of all, let's grade this from is it a good lesson? Is it a bad lesson? And how will we apply it not being the CEO of Google?
Loving it, right? Because you're like, dang, I'm not even nowhere near that ballpark. But you can still, take some of those lessons. The long game, right? Which is important as a business owner. You have to think about your planning, right? A lot of times we are not planning out the future of our company. And so we're not intentional about the steps, the people we bring in, the marketing, the product lines, because we're not intentional about what is our long game. What is the goal, right? 3, 5, 6, 10 years and staying the course. And I think that is a great example or a key characteristic that you want your business, your CEO to embody when you think about growth in your business. And I love that. So I'm giving that an A. Long-term strategy, long-term game. And I think it'll help you as a business owner not have so much idea noise, right? Sometimes as an entrepreneur, you got so many ideas in your head, like, oh, we should do this, we should do that. But if you plan and stick to the plan when you're like, oh, I want to do this, you're like, let me stick to my plan because this is what we decided we were going to do as a company. I think that'll help eliminate some of that noise in your brain when you go off course, when you stick to the plan. So I love that.
100%. I'm off the back. I'm giving it an A+. That's just my personality. I'm always telling people, clients, people we coach and teach, like, what are you trying to do?
Yeah.
I can't imagine helping somebody build something and I don't know what it is that you're trying to build. I'm always the person, and I don't know if that's the development from Northwestern, like, hey, with the planning in mind first, but what is the plan, right? Write the vision, make it plain. If I can see 10 years from now what this looks like, it's easier for me to backdate it and build it now. Because now I'm thinking about what licensing, credentialing, what studying, what mastermind, what content, what advertising, who are the people I need in certain positions for us to even make this happen, right? What steps do we go along the way for us to get there? And when you start to think like that, I think that 5 years become 2 years. 10 years become 5 years, right? And so, because we're moving toward a goal that we know that we're trying to build. And I don't think it's nothing wrong with, for all my just go-getters out there, I don't think it's nothing wrong with just going out there and getting it. And, it's people I know, clients I've had who made $1 million without even realizing that that's what they were going to do from just putting out their product.
Yeah.
But once we get there and you figured that out, and then what? Always ask yourself, and then what?
Yeah.
So we can build upon that and build a great company.
And I think just really fast that being a spiritual person as well, I think when you sprinkle a little God dust on that, when he see you doing the work, I think it makes it easy for God to bless you. When you hold your head down, stick to the plan and do the work, then God is like, okay, let me add some cherry on top. So that's when that 5 years turns into 2 years, right? For me, that's how I look at it. So
don't get no better than
A plus.
Don't get no better than a statement like that. So lesson 2 is prioritizing products and customer needs, right? So as a CEO, you should be the head product officer, fostering technical culture that values getting the product to work, right? The needs of the customer should come first. Building the right product will attract customers without needing aggressive sales tactic. What do you think about building a product first? Should we build a product first and the customers first, or should we worry about the growth of the firm and what that means first?
Okay, so I do believe that culture and building the infrastructure of your company is important. But I also think what you're selling, what you're offering is almost more important, right? If you have a product or a service that the people don't want, then it's like, working backwards to me. But even though there are mediocre products and services that may be subpar that do really well because they have amazing marketing, they have a really good system and structure behind them. But I feel like the product should speak for itself. I feel like if you have a good product, a good service, it just makes everything else a lot easier, right? When you talk about products that break, that don't work, service, if you're not following up with your clients, if you have facials or your business consultant, I just think about that in my own company. If I don't give you great service or my products are subpar, it makes everything else so much harder. I'm always spending money on trying to get new clients versus building on the ones that I have. I'm kind of spinning my wheels here. So I think that, A+ to product first. Make sure you have a good product and a service that people want, that's desirable, and you're delivering it with A+. Then you can work on the system in the back end. So A+ for making that a top priority to grow your business.
100%. I'm gonna give it an A+ too out the gate. What I'm thinking about is the first company that come to mind, who I know for a fact from studying who did this, was Chick-fil-A, right? So I always tell the story when Zaxby's came around, they were like, hey, we got Zaxby's on our block now, right? So what is it that we're gonna do? The CEO then, I think it was Dan, was like, well, we're not going to add another thing to the menu. Like we're not going to spend another chicken situation.
Right.
But what we are going to do is spend money on making sure that our employees provide exceptional customer service.
Yeah.
And so we're going to go longer and not necessarily wider. We're going to go deeper and not wider. And I think that always worked. I still embody that principle with my own business. I think for some of us, though, we could lose sight of that in a sense with not having a plan for one, but losing sight of it by being caught by the shiny object. Yeah. Like, everybody's on social media. Everybody's on Instagram. Everybody's on this. I want to add this to my services. I want to market in this way. Yeah. And you start to get consumed with acquiring new customers. From a financial and business perspective, it's always cheaper to maintain an existing client. It's going to cost you more to acquire a new one.
Absolutely.
So the more you kind of go deeper with your products, your services, the quality of it, as we talk about the new generation, the millennials, the Gen Zs, it's a different world that we're living in. Before, we were built on industry head changers and acquisitions. Now, a lot of people, because they already have money with the transfer of wealth, it's more quality experience. It's like, hey, I'm not going to just donate $100 million to a YMCA. I'm going to donate and I'm going to be involved. Yeah. I'm going to see the impact that we're really having. And so when you go deeper, it goes a long way because people still value a sense of loyalty and relationships.
For sure.
I think that'll never go away.
For sure.
So cool. So third lesson is, these are really good. The third lesson is embracing innovation and fail fast, right? So what his take on it is, implement a culture of testing all ideas and being quick to discard those that don't work. This is a 70-20-10 model. 70% of your attention should be focused on core business. 20% of your attention should be focused on adjacent business. 10% of it should be focused on new ideas, right? You can help balance the innovation with stability, and large company needs to measure innovation to avoid wasting time. Now, based on that last line, like large companies needed to measure innovation. I understand why you said it. The 70-20-10 model, do you think we can apply that with new startup or smaller companies?
Absolutely. I think that motto is a really good benchmark to use as a new business owner, even as an existing business owner, as you're trying to scale. I think that is a really good rule of thumb to help measure and help, we were talking about that plan to help you stay focused so you're not overspending. Some people, even seasoned business owners, are like, well, how much do I spend on salary? Or how much do I spend on marketing? Or how much do I spend on like acquiring new this or but that percentage helps you out budget. Budgeting is super 100%. Important in your business. It helps you fine tune and narrow down where your dollars should go, where you should invest your time and your energy in your business. So you're not, spinning your wheels and like, oh, we're all about innovation, but you're kind of abandoning your core principles a little bit. So I think that model is a great benchmark and a great tool to keep you focused on who you are fundamentally as a company, as a new company. Oh, I'm giving it an A.
Yeah, okay.
I'm giving it an A.
I think we might be A's all around.
I think good business principles, you can't really go too far against them because it's coming from a place that sometimes a lot of business owners, you just don't get some of those. 100%. You're just doing it. You're like, oh, let me just do the thing. 100%. But it's like, well, when do I then shift? How do I pivot? What 100%. Again, marketing, salary. Those people, some of our clients ask us those questions. Well, how much do I spend on salary? How much do I spend on marketing, innovation? And I want to get a new business. I want to upgrade computers. What does that look like? So 100%. Great model, A+.
Listen, I'm giving it an A+ too. The 70-20-10 model. Now, just to give it a little bit of nuance, right? So typically when companies become big, which, I study them a lot, but when companies become big, it's harder for them to be super innovative to make a fast change.
For sure.
Right? And so to make this more plain, this is why you see a Warren Buffett will take his time now on investing in a company because it's harder to find. You got to make the money make sense, right? So because when you growing, it's easier for you to pivot into something new, start developing, acquiring companies like Warren Buffett did. But once we get to a certain status, you really got to kind of slow down because the change happens slower than a smaller company.
For sure.
So
hence Netflix with streaming, right?
100%. So I love the 70-20-10 model. I think I'm going to also start teaching from it. And I really love it from a small business perspective because it allows for a faster, you can change fast. And I think that's where small companies have an advantage that big companies don't, that we really don't take advantage of. Because I'm small and innovative, I have the ability to make this thing my lane. I could be Google, but add a Dr. Black wealth feel to it, right? If I'm going into tech or whatever that looks like. And so 70% on core business because that's the core of the business. That's what the thing that makes the business shake. What are we known for? What are we good on? What are we developing? If I put a flagship down, this is the thing that I'm known for, right? 20% on adjacent business. What is the businesses that we can do that complements our services? Like, right? So real life example, we do CFO services. We do tax preparation. We deal with monthly clients on a monthly basis for the whole 9 yards. Well, the core of our business is the monthly advisory component of our business that we acquire business owners and service them on a monthly basis. Well, what's adjacent to that? Well, we offer the ancillary services. We do the life insurance. We still do tax preparation. We do payroll. Those things like that. 10% on new ideas. Well, what's the new idea? Well, I won't be revealing what my new idea is, but it's a big one. But how much time we allocate toward that where we don't lose sight of what's important.
Which happens to people who just another real life experience. I've seen it in real time with some of my clients that go into reality star spacing, right? So they were known for this one thing. Let's just say they were known for real estate. Then they go into reality star. I'm a tape a reality show about my success in real estate, 100%. But I abandoned the thing that made me the money because now I'm a reality star.
I'm seeing that right now,
right?
Actually.
And so then you kind of, your core value, you didn't have any systems and things in place that you can still maintain that and innovate and grow, right, as a business owner. So I think, it happens to a lot. They can't pivot.
We've seen a lot of that during the pandemic.
Absolutely.
All these guru coaches, right? So
Right.
you sold one Airbnb and now you're the Airbnb expert.
Right.
Right. And not minimizing the expertise of the one Airbnb, but why abandon building the business concept for the sake of trying to become a coach? Well, I'll leave it there. So the fourth lesson we took from him was build a strong company culture, right? So company culture is always set by founders and should persist as the company grows.
Yeah.
It's crucial to align the brilliant people who can change the world as companies scale. They need to adopt their culture while maintaining core values. Now, emphasis on the founder. So the question is, do you think there's a difference in company culture and leadership when you have a founder, also CEO, versus a CEO who was never the founder of the company?
Absolutely. I think as the founder and the CEO, your core values like seep through you, right? Everything you do and touch embodies what the culture of the company is, right? And so because our perspective is going to be different, unless I have, we talk about Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is really good at almost like brainwashing the company culture into the DNA of its employees, right? Through really good training, videos, impact. But it's hard for a lot of CEOs to do that, right?
Yeah.
So I think that the founder has to find a way to like seep in, they almost brainwash their employees to embody what the culture is. And I think if you understand that, then you kind of get out of this, I feel like with small business owners too, with like the scarcity mindset. We try to be everything to everybody because we don't know our core culture. We don't know who we are as a CEO, as a founder. So we tend to kind of wade in the water. We're everywhere in this which way. So I think to your question, A+ to the principle, you definitely need to embody something. Stand for something. Mean what you say and say what you mean. Who are you as a business owner, as a CEO, as a founder?
100%.
And there is a difference. And so to transition that, I need to find a way to get the people on my team to embody what I embody.
Yeah.
So that's my 2.2.
No, good. I'm giving it an A+. The answer to I love companies who are CEO founder led. I think the biggest difference between the two are you have a CEO who's the founder will be more willing to take more risks toward innovation and growing and scaling than somebody who's coming in to manage as a CEO, right? And we've seen it like time and time again, right? Only people who I can say where my point is not proven will be Apple. Because Apple continues, I feel like, to embody the principles and the foundation of what the company was founded on, and of course Google too. But this guy, Eric, was with the founders of Google when they kind of like got started, which helped him be in that founder's position. But the company culture is very key, and is really built on the values that the CEO set for him or herself, which you start to look for that in the people you hire. And I think the type of environment that you set could be the rise or fall of any company. If we set a loosey-goosey environment, relax, the culture's not there, there's no family built upon, and you can also make a mistake of being too family without having spine principles in that regard, right? And so when I think about company cultures we build in, I love to build company cultures that's flexible in the sense where we're remote and in person, strong, built on our values of integrity, respect, the relationship side of it that we embody for our clients. Because as we look for more leadership, I need to produce more people like me than not, right? So good principle. The last principle we got on is focus on metrics and measurement, right? So they implement a system, which I'm definitely going to steal, a system like OKRs, which is objectives and key results, right? So it's similar to KPIs.
Yes.
But this is objectives and key results to measure progress and impact, especially in large corporations. Setting hard goals and regularly assessing achievement is crucial. Focus on key metrics like user growth. Everything else will fall into place, right? And so when you think about that, objectives, key results, right? How important is that for a small business to set those objectives and high goals for them to reach their goals?
I can't nod more. I can't nod and shake my head. Yes. More than I should. They gonna be like, what's wrong with her? She over there nodding and This principle is literally A++, right? And I think that's another thing small business owners at times we don't measure. And I'm coming from experience. Having and growing a successful business, $1 million business. We did not, for ourselves and our team, use KPIs, right? Which is key performance indicators or metrics, something like that, right?
Yeah.
We literally made money and was just trying to make more money, right? We weren't like, okay, we have 999 clients in 2019. For us to get a raise, for us to buy, for us to vacation, we need to do a 20% increase, right? Instead of 999, we need to make sure we got, 1,020 to do this, to do that. We didn't even put ourselves on any type of metric system. And I think most times you're just going through the process. Even our staff and employees, I think in the beginning, we were just like, answer the phones, customer service, do this, do that. No, like, okay, well, we need to make sure that you're giving A+ customer service. So every time you hang up the phone with someone, they're going to get a survey, right? And ask you about your customer service. You need to make sure you get 5 stars. We just didn't have any of that. And hindsight is 2020. If we did that year 1, year 2, even year 3 of our business, right? I think we would have had a greater productivity, right? And we would have been able to really monitor the business better all across the board. Software, text, clients, account, all the things. We would have been able to scale and grow just a lot easier because we would be able to see where the growth is and also determine bonuses, right? How and why do you reward yourself as a CEO, as a sales manager, it would have been really clear. So KPIs, performance indicators, all of that, A++, that needs to be right under innovation, right under the plan. In the plan needs to be the KPIs. They need to be like, marry them together, one and the same. You cannot grow if you don't know where you've been. You can't go forward without realizing where you were. I just think it seems really obvious now, but when you start and then you're in the business, you just don't think of that. Just don't think of that. So... yeah,
100%. I'm giving it an A+. My managing director used to tell me, if you don't know where you're going, anywhere you end up is fine, right? And so if you don't know where you're going, anywhere you end up is fine. That's a bar within itself. I love the way that they reshaped the name of it because I never heard it like this, objectives and key results. It make me feel like it's different from a goal and it still sounds different from a KPI because KPI is so... it's so
numbers.
Loose out there. Well, it just seems like it's like we just got to have KPIs. But if we measure objectives, like, hey, I would like to reach $1 million, right? What are the key results that will get us there and measuring the user growth of it? And this is very key because as I was starting to build out our monthly services, that's the type of thing that always came up to me. If we had clients that were leaving, I didn't just say like, oh, no, they was a piece of crap.
For sure.
I'm looking at me like, hey, there's something that we're not doing to keep clients.
Absolutely.
We're not on our job as we should be to keep stickier business, right? And so if I'm focusing, one of our objectives is our retention rate. So if we keep our retention rate high, so low turnover, that means we're delivering exceptional services. We're actually delivering resulted services based off these people working with us. They're reaching a certain result, right? Which means we're reaching a result. We're keeping them happy, which means we're getting more referrals, which means the growth of the firm continues to grow organically, which social media and the outside marketing can further enhance what we organically did. So OKRs, objectives and key results, definitely a thing. You need something to measure because if you don't know where you're going, anywhere you end up is fine. I hope you got something out of these 5 principles. So these things highlight the importance of visionary leadership, customer-centric product development, fostering innovation, maintaining a strong culture, data-driven decision-making, and building and scaling a successful business. So these are our lessons that we got recapped from our guy. I'm calling him my guy. I'm going to interview him one day. CEO
That's right,
Eric
manifested.
Schmidt. Former ex-Google Silicon Valley CEO, took a business from 100 million to 180 billion. So he took a business from 100 million to 180 billion off some of these core principles. I think you can take a business from $10 to $1 million.
Listen,
$1
Linda,
million to 10 million.
Okay.
10 million to 50 million. Y'all stay tuned as we break down more business development principles, taxes, business, all things business on the #1 network, Mindin Your Business for the culture.
That's right.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell. We want to hear from you. What lessons did you learn out of these 5 lessons that we presented to you? What's your take on it? What's your grade? What's your opinion on it? And can't wait to read the comments, and we'll see you when we see you.
That's
Peace.
right.